Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Another investigation in Stutsman County, this time issues with the way the state's attorney is treating female employees. Condescending, demoralizing, demeaning. They're just a few of the accusations and the accusing words described from employees working under Stutsman County State's Attorney Frederick Fremgen. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. Fremgen's accused of harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood is here to bring us much more information on this investigation. So Christine, what can you tell us?
Stephanie, the incident report is 14 pages long and filled with claims from employees working under Fremgen, better known as Fritz. In this report, 5 female victims came forward against Fremgen, a report filed with claims of sexism, sexual harassment, and treating staff like children. One employee claims that she wet the bed at night after she dreamt about Fremgen yelling at her. Another employee says she broke out into hives and vomited after an episode with the attorney. Employees say they've tried to get outside help about this harassment, but say no one was willing to look into the claims because he's an elected official. One employee says Fremgen was a controlling man, saying, quote, "When you're new and submissive, you're his pet." Another shocking claim comes from an employee saying he would put her down about her weight, comment about how to exercise and what to eat. And more than one employee says working under Fremgen was like walking on eggshells. Here's what Casey Bradley, the auditor for the Stutsman County Sheriff's Office, has to say about what allegedly happened.
Yeah, it was pretty alarming to see what was all going on. I don't see this as a culture issue or anything like that with the county. We strive not to have these kinds of issues, and when they do, we try to be very proactive in addressing them quickly.
Fremgen has not commented on any of these allegations against him. I left him a message with the state's attorney's office, but I have not heard back. Let me remind you that the Law Enforcement Center in Stutsman County houses the sheriff's office, the police department, courthouse, and state's attorney's office. Earlier this month, we reported on an investigation into claims of the misuse of property. And now this harassment investigation, it's all under one roof. In the wake of Fremgen's alleged harassing, his office will be moved to the first floor of the Law Enforcement Center. Stephanie?
All right, Christine, thank you. Now, investigators concluded there was no criminal activity conducted here. However, there are infractions in the Stutsman County personnel policy. According to Auditor Bradley, the incident would normally prompt Fremgen's termination from his position, but because he's an elected official, it's not possible to fire him. So it's been suggested that Fremgen receive coaching by the Village Business Institute of Fargo, and now this case is considered closed. Another day of cold temperatures, wind, and rain in some parts of the valley, and there's something you really need to be aware of in tonight's forecast. So let's get the details with Hutch Johnson. Hutch?
We have a lot of variables that'll be changing in our weather. Take a look at the latest radar and you see rain showers continue mainly along and east of the Red River Valley. That changes over to snow as we look to the west. Westbound on Interstate 94, just moving into the Steele area, tapping some bands of moderate to heavy, large snowflakes making their way in. Here's a look at the Department of Transportation camera. It's tapping right now. So things are getting a little white out to the west. Hey, the wind is really picking up with gusts over 60 miles per hour already on the docket out west. We have a wind warning out to the western counties, the Devil's Lake Basin, the James River Valley, wind advisory for the Red River Valley. And yes, we're expecting wintry weather for northwest Minnesota as we go through the night. Here's a look at peak wind gusts so far today, already exceeding 50 miles per hour in our western counties, and the wind is really just getting started. Temperatures tonight are going to fall. We will have a chance of some rain, maybe mixing with some flakes of snow as we go through the overnight. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect in your weather forecast coming up here in just a little bit, but looks like it's pretty blustery for at least a turn.
A hat and lots of hairspray.
That will both come in handy.
Right. Thank you, Hutch. Well, the newspaper The Tennessean is reporting that a lawmaker in that state wants to remove Syrian refugees from the state and stop more from coming within the use of the National Guard. In their report, they say not all lawmakers agree, but that many want to take some sort of action after the attacks in Paris. Having a beer with a movie is still in the works in Fargo, but it might not be a while until it is coming to the area. The Liquor Control Board approved a new class of liquor licenses for the West Acres Movie Theater. The new license would make Marcus theaters have requirements they'd have to follow. The bar area will be separate from concessions. Those requirements include people needing to purchase a movie ticket to get a drink, theater providing wristbands to those drinking, and only one beer per person at a time. The licenses was voted on and now goes to the city commissioners and to up or down this. Some commissioners still have concerns about the current proposal.
I have some concerns about children's movies, especially having adults drinking at a children's movie. That just doesn't seem like a good match.
This license would only work for the West Acres Cinema, and coming up tonight at 6. We look into why other theaters in Fargo would not be able to apply for a liquor license under the cinema class. A family of 6 is without a place to sleep tonight after their Glendon house went up in smoke and flames. One person was actually at home when the fire started. She says it began in the bathroom late this morning. The family's dog Marley was trapped inside a bedroom for a half hour. Crews rescued Marley and say he's doing okay now. As far as the house, there's heavy smoke and fire damage inside.
I woke up to a smell of smoke, and as I looked over in the bedroom, it was in flames. I couldn't see nowhere in the house. It was all black smoke. I was panicking. I didn't know what to do, and then my phone was in the bed, so I had to run back in there and find my phone in the bed. I was screaming and freaking out. I couldn't really talk on the phone.
Fire crews say they don't know why the fire started or how much the damage cost. Like it, love it, or hate it, Fighting Hawks is the University of North Dakota's new nickname. More than 27,000 people cast their votes. Fighting Hawks won with 57% over Rough Riders, which got 43% of the vote. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson has a reaction and shows us what happens now.
It's me a great deal of pleasure to announce to you today that the new nickname for UND's athletic programs will be the Fighting Hawks.
For now, the interlocking ND logo, like the one back there on UND's High Performance Center, will be used in conjunction with the Fighting Hawks nickname. Marketing companies will be asked to submit proposals and budgets that may integrate this logo. Then a task force will work with the marketing company to come up with several possible designs by next summer.
The final method of selection hasn't been decided. That will happen during either interim President Schaefer's term or potentially a new permanent president, and those folks will need to have some input into that process.
Today's announcement truly allows us to build on our North Dakota heritage. We are North Dakota, as we've always been. And our new nickname is a representation that our student athletes can carry forward with pride as they compete for our school and our state.
And President Kelly, do you think you've spent way too much of your time here on this issue?
Yes. You know, Neil, I answered your original question by saying yes, and I meant that. This has been a very, very long road. It has taken a lot of attention, a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of our treasure away from the academic and research mission of the university. I wish it had been a little different in the sense that we didn't have so many side roads to have to go down.
The new Fighting Hawks nickname is already being used on UND's website, and its use will begin immediately for the broadcasts of UND sporting events. Like it, love it, or hate it, it's the UND Fighting Hawks. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Athletic Director Brian Faison says some UND team uniforms may feature the new name and logo by the fall of next year, but some are going to take longer to implement. Officials estimate the total cost of the nickname voting process approached $300,000. Well, you see them each night on Valley News Live, bringing you the news of the day. But you may not have realized that these two at Valley News Live are an item. And this morning, the secret got out as Bradford Eric proposed to Ashley Bishop live on North Dakota Today. It happened when Ashley's story about the popularity of winter weddings was supposed to air. Bradford then surprised her with a pre-recorded message. After the message from Bradford, he walked into the studio, got down on a knee, and popped the question.
Oh my God.
This has been a long time coming.
Is this my Christmas present?
Yes, yes, no. Will you please do the honor of marrying me?
Yes. I'll let you put that on. I don't know how this works. I don't even know what a fiance is.
They are adorable. Huge congratulations to them. We're so happy for you. The reporter duo is commonly referenced as Brashly in our newsroom, and that nickname came from a radio show that they did together in college. Huge congratulations, guys. A Dynamo weather kid who first appeared on our airwaves 2 years ago is coming back for another round. We're going to catch up with William Hallman and let you know when he's coming back to the weather wall. Coming up.
Wind, wet, and for some, white weather is around the corner. We'll have hour-by-hour details in your forecast next.